Hi, Cole. Nice to meet you.
Hey, Will, nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Take a seat.
Thanks.
So, Will, tell me a little bit about yourself.
So, I am from Florida, but I was born in Washington, D.C. I only lived there for about a year, and I grew up in Florida for about 9 years. I was always a very active kid, running around, skateboarding. Always been skating, staying active for a very long time. And my mother is a nurse in the healthcare field, and my father works for the government. So ever since a little kid, my mother has always been trying to prevent me from getting hurt, and taking all the precautionary measures and everything, telling me all about health and safety all the time. And around that time, I actually moved to Brazil when I was 9, and I lived there for 3 years, and that was a really different experience. I'm half Portuguese, so I already had a little prior knowledge of the language, but it wasn't very developed yet until I moved to Brazil. And it was a little struggle at first, getting to know all the kids that spoke Portuguese, Portuguese being my second language. And through that, it taught me how to be more open and not to be afraid to speak, even if I'm not really speaking properly. So that was a really good experience. And after that, I moved to Washington when I was about 12, and I went to middle school there. And again, it was another adaptation to change. I was not familiar with the area, didn't know anybody, but I came here and I made friends, and I got into fitness actually when I was actually very overweight in high school, and I made a fitness plan for myself, and I got very into that. I lost 40 pounds through discipline and learning how to properly treat my body with the right things and the right movements to be a healthy person. And I think that's how I really got into the healthcare field kind of atmosphere.
That's awesome. Why do you want to work for us?
So I thought Infinity Rehab was really cool because I know you guys have tons of locations, so I know you're a well-established company, and I know you guys do things like not only physical therapy, but occupational therapy and speech therapy. So I think that's a really cool environment to be around a lot of different types of people with different types of needs. And it's always an environment where it seems like you'll be able to grow and learn every day.
Awesome. What skills could you bring here?
So I'm a very team-oriented person, and I know that you need a really outgoing person to make your patients comfortable and everything. And also my coursework at Western Washington University has taught me a lot of the basic how to tell if an injury is ligament, muscle, or nerve. So I know all the basic, what's the word? The basic skills in order to help treat that person and how to properly talk to your patients.
Awesome. Could you tell me what your greatest strengths and weaknesses are?
So I think my greatest strength comes from my customer service experience over the years. I'm very good at controlling my emotions. I remember my very first job, it was at a Mod Pizza, and it was busy every day when it had just opened, and I was very nervous on this day, and I asked my boss to clock out for lunch, and he just started yelling at me in front of all the customers, and I controlled my emotions very well and listened to what he said and just went back to work. And also dealing with very weird questions of people in general working at a grocery store, customers being very inappropriate, and just learning how to just deal with that and just not worry about it too much and just accept it. A weakness of mine is that I overthink a lot, so I get caught up a lot, and if I'm not too sure how to do something, I'll be like, oh no, what am I doing? But I've learned to calm down collect myself, assess the situation, and take my steps through there. But I also think that that weakness has taught me also to really think about think all the way through before I do something, and be very task-oriented, because actually, yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Great answer.
Thank you.
What is the most important thing to you when starting a new job?
So when starting a new job, I personally think it's very important to really introduce yourself to all your coworkers, make sure they know who you are, so they'll be more likely to talk to you if you need help, you know? Get to know them, see what you can do to help them, learn the work dynamic, and really just learn how the ball rolls around here.
Awesome. You talked about this briefly, but why did you choose a physical therapy as a career path?
I really chose it as a career path. I wanted it as a career path because in school I really enjoyed about learning the human body, and through exercise, when I lost a bunch of weight in high school, I really learned how to discipline myself, and I got kind of obsessed with learning a new movement and how that affected my muscles. Like in weightlifting, for example, I got really into that, and I love just seeing the results from what I could do by my own work and discipline.
Awesome. What do you think would be a fair salary to you?
So I researched online in Washington, and I believe a good starting salary for me would be around $51,000 a year with benefits.
Perfect. What would you do in the first 30 days of working here?
So the first 30 days of working here, like I said before, I would really focus on just getting to know everyone around the office, getting to know my patients, knowing where everything is, really establishing the flow of things, and getting to know about the company and all the different departments, and how I could be of use to not just the physical therapy department, but maybe if someone needs help in occupational therapy.
Perfect. Team player, I love it. Do you have any other questions for me?
How do you like working at Infinity Rehab?
You know, I love working at Infinity Rehab.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions for us?
That's going to be it.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Will.
Thank you, Cole.